am the impartial Marshall, okay? But all right, look. I got to keep it a buck with y'all. If you're doing 50-50 matches with everybody, then how is any match going to have importance? And that's what I'm here to talk about right now. The 50-50 match booking, where it's an open match and everybody gets their shots in and everybody looks like a formidable opponent, even if they're local talent, it does not set up for true challengers and suspenseful matches. I'm a wrestling old head, all right? I'm old school through and through. So I want you guys to help me, teach me why this matters. Why do you need to have a 15-minute match with a local talent? Now, I recently was thinking about a match between Brian Cage and Swerve Strickland after Brian Cage and the Gates of Agony turned on Swerve Strickland. And this match was going 15 minutes. Now, I understand they had a rivalry and whatnot, and I respect Brian Cage. I think he's a beast, but he's not been booked that way in AEW. And because he hasn't been booked that way, it made Swerve look weaker to take 15 minutes to beat somebody that other people like Orange Cassidy have taken like 8 or 9 minutes to beat. And I'm just keeping it a buck. I'm not pro WWE. I'm not pro AEW. I'm pro wrestling. And that's something I noticed, and it bothers me, y'all. I mean, Kyle O'Reilly could have a 6-minute squash on Rampage, which not very many people will see. And then because he has that win against some local talent, that it was like a back and forth match. I mean, it wasn't exactly a dominant performance. Then he goes on Collision and he'll lose a title match. And then I'm supposed to believe that Kyle O'Reilly's not affected by that loss against a top athlete, a top champion, because he won a match on Rampage that very few people have seen. Now, look, I'm all for enhancement matches. A lot of people are not into enhancement matches. I'm here to let you know I'm all for an enhancement match. Put a jobber in the ring and have a talent crush him while the commentators are discussing why this wrestler that is dominating this jobber is so top contender or beast, is ready for a world title shot, should be getting more respect, etc., etc. And then you put over storylines that are going on as well. Like, oh man, the Elite just showed up. We're going to have cameras back there and we're going to see if we can get, what is the Elite doing here? You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I just heard there's some commotion going on in the back. We're going to try and get our cameras and do split screen so we can see what's going on. It doesn't take away from the match because you already know the match is a foregone conclusion. This guy is going to get beat by a top wrestler. So jobber matches, enhancement matches, whatever you want to call them, I think they're necessary to tell stories, to keep people interested, to keep people tuned in. So I'm not against that. But what I am against is if a guy has been beaten in all of the top matches that he's in, and then you're supposed to expect me to believe because he beat 2 jobbers in 6 minutes on shows that nobody ever watches, that because he loses another top match, that it doesn't hurt him. And I'm sorry, I just can't do that. Specific examples you must ask. You might go, well, give me an example. Well, here's an example. Right now, I'm going to give you an example. Nosuke Takeshita. The guy could beat a billion jobbers. But when it comes to it, the only person that I think he's ever beaten in a big match scenario was Kenny Omega, all right? The guy should be up there in wins and losses with Will Ospreay, especially in the Don Callis family, that needs all the help they can get. Don Callis, you got Don Callis supposed to be the best manager in the world. He managed the best bout machine in Kenny Omega, and he has wrestlers that can't win big matches. And then he picks up Trent Beretta, who's already dropped 2 losses to Orange Cassidy. I mean, so you're sitting there in a scenario right now where you've got Konosuke Takeshita, who should have a big winning streak, should be up there with wins, and Don Callis should slowly start to let Will Ospreay know, hey, you should get on Konosuke Takeshita's level. And Will Ospreay slowly start walking out of the group like, I no longer associate, I no longer see myself the way that you see me. I'm not that type of a guy. That's just an example, but I'm telling you, 50-50 matches, open matches where everybody gets their shot in and all that, to me, they work. But you got to give me a reason to believe that the guy that's going to inevitably lose could potentially win. And it doesn't happen when he only wins matches against enhancement talent. You got to show, especially the heels, these bad guys, they got to get some important wins. I know you want to build your faces up as unstoppable, the Orange Cassidys, the Will Ospreys. You know, you want them to be built up as these unstoppable people. So when they lose, it matters. But they might have to take a cheap loss here and there, pulling of the tights, feet on the ropes, distraction by a manager. I'm just saying. But what do you guys think? You guys let me know. Am I tripping? Should these competitive matches it's just their style, it's just AEW style, it's just what they do. So even the local talent has a chance to win every night, and that's all right. And when these guys lose their big matches, it's because it's top talent. You guys let me know. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Just something I was thinking about. I thought I'd drop it in as the impartial Marshall, as a pro WWE, pro AEW, pro wrestling fan. I just was giving you my opinion. You guys let me know what you think in the comments. Yay, nay. Tell a friend and tell a friend. Your Rod the Wrestling Old Head has opened the portal for all to join in. And I'll see you soon, you guys.